Holy God, we thank you that you're more than willing to join us today. You desire us to have a clearer understanding of your kingdom, not only of its laws, but of its principles and its inner workings. We pray that you would bless us and guide and direct our thoughts and our words. In Jesus' name, amen. Could everybody put their phones on silent or switch them off? In our last study together, we had pivoted away from our discussion of Revelation 17 and we discussed the subject of adultery. So I want to continue that today. You remember that we began in Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. And then we moved to Matthew 5:27. And Matthew 5:27. So this was the first mention in the Old and the New Testaments. And we saw that in those two first instances, the gender was different. And we discussed a little bit about why that was. We developed, maybe we might call it, a rough working definition of the word adultery. And we said it was married women who were having a relationship outside of marriage. The particular aspect about women was found in Exodus. Then when we turn to the New Testament, the book of Matthew, we're all familiar that this is the Sermon on the Mount or the Beatitudes. And the Beatitudes are meant to symbolize or represent the good news. But what we see in that sermon isn't merely good news. We spoke about the law that Jesus was being accused of destroying, and we understood what the law and the prophets were. So when we came to Matthew, we discussed the term law and prophets, and we said that we saw that that was the Old Testament. 5 books and 34 books. And the Sanhedrin, at that time, the leadership of the church, felt that Jesus had come to destroy the church, destroy the nation of Israel. Not only the rules, we might call it the ceremonial system, but also its destiny, or we might call it prophecy. That's the 5 and that's the 34. It's coming to destroy everything. And was Jesus coming to destroy everything? We know that the answer to that is yes, the leaders were correct. But people's definition of fulfillment or destruction is different. Destroy or fulfill? That's the question. So they say destroy, and Jesus says fulfill. We saw that the word fulfill is a tautology, which means the word means complete, come to completion. We'll use a different word now. Perfection. So the law and the prophets are now coming to perfection. This and the this being Jesus was what they were meant to bring you to. Right, am I okay? Yeah. So the law was meant to bring you to Jesus. The prophets were meant to bring you to Jesus. It's not that the 10 Commandments are meant to bring you to Jesus. So if you have any questions, put your hands up on those issues, or we'll carry on. So after talking about the blessings and the fulfillment, we then got to verses 21 to 26, which we called anger. 27 to 30, which we called lust. And then 31 to 32, which we called divorce. I tried to develop a narrative, an explanation of why these subjects had been chosen. Blessing, fulfillment. I'll do it blessing, fulfillment, anger, lust, divorce. Cool, fine. So, if we don't understand the narrative or the point of this, these last three become just random thoughts. What I wanted us to see is that we should not be viewing these last three topics with a perspective of literal human relationships, because that's how they're written. They're written in a very literal fashion, with the perspective of human beings, human relationships. And my suggestion is, if you read them that way, they don't make sense contextually within the sermon. So we're addressing I'll call it the tension between symbology and structure. It's a recurring theme that you have to see and grapple with as you go through your studies, not just this one, but any study. So I'll restate that slightly differently. What you're required to do is not just read the words. You need to understand what the context is. And after speaking about the blessings of being in the kingdom of heaven, Christ being the completion of the law, the fulfillment of prophecy, you can't then just go talking about human beings being angry with one another, or having lustful thoughts, and men and women divorcing. You've got to be able to see that does not make sense. These are not just random thoughts. If you don't see that, put your hand up. Okay, so that's good. I would hope that we could all see that now. We wouldn't become confused or distracted by the literal human language. It's not about you getting angry with your. It's about the church and its relationship to God, as it is in the first part of the sermon, the Beatitude, and the second part, the Law and the Prophets. these last three elements that are on the board, anger, lust, and divorce, are the same story. If we don't see that, it doesn't make sense to me. Tina.
Okay. I got out to open the gate, but I don't remember what you said with last. I got anger and divorce. Can you repeat last and how it relates to the church? I don't know if you're getting my question.
You've read this passage before, I hope many times. When you read the first part, blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, what did you think that was referring to?
To the people who were listening to him.
My question was, what is it referring to? Not just the people that he's speaking to. Let me rephrase that. He's not speaking to you. No. So why are you reading something that's nothing to do with you?
Because it's in the Bible.
So it's in the Bible and it's got nothing to do with you.
It does have to do with me.
So who's it referring to?
The people who are reading and people who are there.
Are you able to just put that into a singular group? So you don't know who that group would be?
I would say the leaders of the church are also there, the Pharisees. I'm saying that the leaders of the church, the Pharisees, were also there.
You remembered something from the last study and you just threw that in. Without understanding. Never a good plan. Anyone can help her. Who are all these blessed people? The church. That would include them and you. One group. Okay with that? So the church will be blessed if they follow the principles of the kingdom of heaven. We skipped over salt and light. We didn't talk much about that. What's the salt? And what's the candle? Tina?
I'm not sure.
Have a guess. Pretender? Don't know?
The church.
The church. The salt is the church. The candle is the church. That work for you? So if salt isn't flavorful, what are you supposed to do? Don't know? You don't use it. So that's verse 13. More than don't use it. Don't read the word. Don't read the verse. It says in the last part of the verse what you do. You throw it away. So who's going to get thrown away? The church. If the church doesn't do its job, you'll get to a point that God will throw it away. So, I spoke about a candle, but before a candle, what else is the church? Read. Salt, something, candle. What's the missing one? Anybody just shout out. City. Does it say city? Or did I miss that? A city set on a hill. So you're salt, you're a city, and a candle. And the city is in a certain place. Candles have a certain job. Everybody okay with that? You have cities and you have candles, and they're not supposed to be hidden. If they are hidden, you're not doing your job. It's all that church. Christ came to fulfill the law. So, we spoke about this. Nothing in the law will change. This is not Moses' law, and it's not the 10 Commandments. This is the 5 books of Moses, or the Pentateuch, and the remaining Old Testament books, which is called the prophets. And Jesus has come to make those things perfect. So I've written them here. The rules, Jesus will now perfect them. He will not only live the law. What else? He's going to not do any sin. We all know that. What else? That's the 10 Commandment bits. What else will he perfect? Justina?
So the prophets.
Not the prophets. Still in the first bit. Anyone else? Did the 10 Commandment bit? You have your hand up? Is it too difficult? William? No? Ceremonial system. What's Jesus going to do with that? Curtis. Oh, yeah, Curtis. Oh, I didn't see anybody. You saw it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Repeat.
It's going to fulfill them the ceremonial laws. Because before Christ came, to Earth, to this planet Earth, if somebody commits sin, he was supposed to die. So when Christ came, he came to fulfill that law, to make it into. By his death, he make completion of that law.
Over here. Put your hand up. Hi.
I was going to say something similar. So he's going to put an end to the sacrificial system. Through his death.
Okay. So I could go to John 1:29, and I could say that Jesus is the Lamb that was slain from the foundation of the world. So Jesus is the embodiment or the fulfillment of the ceremonial system, all of it. Give you another Bible verse. Hebrews 8:1. We have such an high priest. So Jesus not only is the Lamb, he's the high priest as well. So hopefully we can see that he came to fulfill the law that we've just spoken about. And he's going to fulfill the prophets. Isaiah 11 verse 1. There shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. Oh, it's your paraphrase. And a branch shall grow out of his roots. I didn't write all the verses down, sorry. Can someone remind me of them? I've got Isaiah 11:1, 1:29. Which book? Oh, Hebrews. And were any others? Okay, that'll do. And I'll do Numbers 24:17. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. So I've given some verses or some ideas about the law and about the prophets. So we've done all of that. And now anger, lust, and divorce. So we need to understand that these three things are in the context of the church and God. So are you allowed, we're in verse 22, are you allowed to be angry with somebody without a good reason? No. Goes on to other little bits and pieces. Where I want us to see that we should not be confused that all this is about literal human interaction. Why is it done that way? Why is it using such human relationships to explain the reality? Over here? Who's got the mic?
You have to take what people understand to be able to understand a spiritual truth.
So that's Catherine. Regina? Regina? Regina?
Something. That's the reason I opted out.
I've forgotten what she said.
What? I was saying God will use something that people understand well to help them understand something that complex.
I was going to say same, but I was going to start by saying these illustrations are a parable so that we can understand.
So I want us to see that what Catherine said and Regina said were the definitions of parable methodology. So we've got the word parable and an explanation of what parables are. So this is the only way to do it. If you want to understand the relationship between the church and God, which is a spiritual relationship, it has to be done through parables. And if you've been reading these passages to try to understand the rules and mechanism of divorce, or adultery, or getting angry with your church friend, you know you've been reading this wrong all those years. It's a far more serious, far more important issue than you getting out of a problematic marriage. So if you're okay with that, just go back to the previous presentation and we've explained what anger, lust and divorce are about. We should all be comfortable, hopefully, with who's angry, who wants to have a divorce, and who's been committing adultery? Jesus is speaking to the leadership, who are men in real life, but symbolically, I say they're women, but they're actually the woman singular, not women in plural. Justina?
I wanted to ask, so, but can we also apply this to our real relationships or not?
If you wanted a new career as a shepherd, you could read the Bible and get some good instruction. But that's not what those passages were designed for. Does that answer your question? Yeah. That was a funny way of saying yes. So we began to do that. So we're going to carry on now. Pick up from where we got to last time. Can we take this spiritual relationship that's gone wrong and learn something about human relationships? So this is in section 2, well maybe 4. Because we've done the blessings, we've done the law and the prophet, then anger, lust, divorce. We're in lust. We began to try to understand what adultery was. So in your notes, if you took notes, what is adultery? One word. This is what we agreed last week, the other day. Someone said over here? Cheating. So adultery is cheating. And then I asked, what kind of cheating? And we said, or someone said, I think it was Regina, I can't remember, there was sexual, and then we had another one that said emotional. So we've got sexually emotional so far. I don't know if there's any more. And I said, what does that mean? I don't even know what sexual and emotional mean. And then someone said body and mind, which is fair enough. And then I crossed those out as we got to the end. And I suggested that sexual would be what? Physical. And mind would be thoughts. Bobby. And someone asked about, I think someone asked about sex before marriage. And if we're going to use the definition that it's married women or married men, but it's people who are married. When we talk about adultery, the sex before marriage is a different issue. So we put a cross by that and left that to one side. So we've got adultery, cheating, and we've got sexual or physical and emotional, which is thoughts. So does anybody have any questions or explanations of these things? Sexual, emotional, or do we have any other definitions of cheating? Any other types of cheating?
Would faithlessness, like loss of trust, be maybe taken as emotional?
So person one doesn't trust person two.
That's correct, yes.
And your question is that emotional cheating?
Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Who's doing the cheating, one or two?
One of them, like between the spouses?
Which one's doing the cheating? The one who no longer trusts?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they trust the partner?
Because I think it's part of cheating.
Why wouldn't they trust the partner? Don't make me feel sin.
Because they're cheating.
Who's cheating? The number two?
Yes.
What cheating are they doing?
No, I'm asking about, because we're saying sexual, the definition is cheating. And we're saying cheating is sexual and also emotional. So the element that I'm asking about is whether faithlessness or loss of trust between the two spouses.
We've got the man and the woman.
Yes.
Who doesn't trust?
Let's say it's a woman who doesn't trust the man. Because
Why doesn't she trust him?
Because he's cheating.
What cheating is he doing?
That's exactly my question. Because we're defining it.
How does she know he's cheating?
Let's say she grabbed him. She has an evidence.
She did what?
She's got an evidence that is cheating.
What's the evidence?
maybe photography or
She's got a photograph of him in bed with another person.
that's correct.
This is to everybody. Is that sexual or emotional?
Yeah, that was my question.
If you've got pictures of your partner sleeping in bed, that's sexual.
Okay. So in the mix, I was throwing this element in the question of whether faithlessness or loss of trust. Could it be put in the physical?
We've answered your question.
Yeah, we did. You
Okay,
did. Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
Any other types of cheating? Does that cover everything? We're supposed to be experts on the subject. Because plenty of you do it or have done it. Lundy. Come on. Put the phone away.
It's more of a question also. Can financial cheating also be included there, or does it fall under emotional cheating?
So tell me what financial cheating is.
Not being transparent with the finances.
Let her speak. Sorry, I can't hear.
Not being transparent with finances, or not. Let's leave it there.
Okay. I'm being serious. Man, woman. Which one's doing the cheating?
The man.
As always. This is about money. So the man's cheating with McDonald's. He's addicted to burgers, and he earns $100 a week. Don't know if that's a lot. 90 is for the family, and 10 is for McDonald's. So he's cheating with McDonald's. So when we talk about adultery, would we frame this concept of cheating in this context?
I would say no, but I had a different example in head, so that's why.
So if it's McDonald's, it's not adultery. So you can't commit adultery with McDonald's or Woolworths or any other type of shop. Is that okay? If it's no for McDonald's, it's no for all the shops. You okay with that?
Okay.
So give me your example.
My example would have been, let's say the husband family on the top decides to give money to his family.
Okay, so it's not McDonald's, it's his mum.
perhaps the wife, maybe him and his wife did not agree about that. And then he goes behind her back and does that.
So the issue, whether or not they agree or disagree, he cheats, which means he's doing it without her knowledge. So he's giving $10 to his mum without telling his wife. And the question is that adultery? So to have a one-word answer. You begin? Yes or no?
That
That's
is
your
also my
question.
question.
You don't know? You have a feeling about it. Just one word. Oh, if it's a question, we'll do a question in a minute. I just want the answer first. Monica? Yes or no? No. Catherine? Catherine, why is this not adultery? It meets all the criteria, cheating, hiding. Why is this not? Let me reframe my question. When you think of adultery, you put it into a certain box. Why is the mother not in that box?
I think because it's a different type of relationship, like it's a different category of relationship.
So, adultery, if we have the box of adultery, and this box equals what? That Catherine's just said. What is the box? Everybody, what's the box? Anybody over here? Box equals, she just said, not sexual, just relationship. Okay, so back to, so she said the box is relationship. And she says, mums don't belong in here. And Londi said McDonald's doesn't belong in there. So what belongs in there, Catherine?
A lover or a spouse.
A lover. Someone said sexual. Who said sexual? Yeah. So we've got the sexual bit wouldn't be the box, it's what's in the box. One second, we'll get a mic. The way Catherine framed it, she said the box is the relationship and what's in the box is if you know the title of the box. So if you have an adultery box, what would go in there would be lovers. Not your parents and not Woolworths. Over to you.
So I was going to say it must be a sexual relationship because we cannot equate different criteria of relationship. It must be in the bracket, kind of they must be equal.
A dog. Pet. wife doesn't like pets, and you've got a secret one that you love. Is that adultery?
If the relationship with the dog is a sexual relationship, then that is adultery.
Let's assume that it's not. You just pet it. Then not.
As I said, Elder, we cannot equate two different things. Petting and sexual relationships are two different things.
Yes. I was just taking your definition and giving another example for the others, not for you, because you already understood. Blondie. So what I've understood people to say is there is cheating going on in every example that we've just given. But for it to reach the hurdle or the bar of adultery, has to be a certain type of relationship. And filial love doesn't meet that criteria. Sexual love would. So I'm not sure what you think about that.
I understand what you're saying. My question was, can you please go up a bit?
You tell me when to stop.
You can stop, thank you. It was initially that can you add financial cheating into the equation of sexual and emotional cheating?
I think everybody would agree that it's cheating. I would agree. But there seems to be a disagreement that it would be considered in the realm of adultery. So that's what people are suggesting, that it is cheating. It is wrong, but it doesn't meet the criteria of adultery. Okay. I know you had a question. I'm going to come to you now, but Curtis is just... Yes? I don't know what your name is. What's your question? You changed your mind? Oh, the other way around. Got it. Yep. Yep.
Let's get a question. Here we're speaking about different kinds of adultery. There is this word that we use for masturbation. Where does masturbation fall under? Is it adultery? If a person, let's just say a woman, doing masturbation while she is married.
I've understood. So we've got a man and a woman. Who's doing the masturbating? You tell me which one. Which one? I know. Which one's doing the masturbating? You've got to say that one in the mic, apparently. it's important.
A woman.
It's on public record now. So, the woman's masturbating. Are you going to do English or are you going to do Zulu? In your responses now. I'm talking to you. Take the mic. So the woman masturbates. Why would she do that?
Let me say, maybe she doesn't feel satisfied.
Satisfaction. Yep. You want to give another word?
She doesn't reach the climax.
I'm going to put orgasm, satisfaction.
Orgasm.
Any other word? Looking for synonyms. Okay? I'll give one, if that's okay. For pleasure. Is that good? Okay? So she's masturbating for pleasure. So M isn't masturbation. M is meat. She likes eating meat because it gives her pleasure. Is that cheating? She goes to KFC secretly. Keep the mic. Is that adultery or cheating? We know it's cheating because we discussed that with Londi. That's this McDonald's questions. So we know it's cheating. Is it adultery? Secretly eating meat. Tell me what you think.
I think it's cheating. It's committing adultery at the same time because they are married.
Right there.
And the other one?
Right there. The question is about her eating KFC, not masturbation. If she secretly eats it, is she committing adultery with a chicken? What do you think? Good answer. No hands. Don't worry. She's Miss Moon.
It's because
Answer.
No.
Sorry?
I'm not sure. Should I answer or should I ask?
You should answer. She eats chickens because she loves them. She's committing adultery with chickens against her husband. Because he doesn't like it.
Or the
He's a vegan. And he says no chickens in the house. And no spending money on chickens. So she's doing it secretly. Is that adultery? You got to answer. No.
No.
So we agree it's no. Hopefully everybody agrees with you. So the M, whether it's meat, McDonald's, or the masturbation, is an adultery. Because they're all pleasure. I thought that was going to be easy. Tina, Curtis, and someone over here. Oh no. This is not a discussion about masturbation, so I'm not going to, I'll take a couple of thoughts. I'm not going that. This was an important discussion about adultery, so it's not about masturbation, but I'll take a couple. Before you get, I'll be clear. My thoughts, masturbation is not adultery. That's my thoughts. Tina.
If we're saying adultery equals cheating,
Cheating is a type of adultery. No, adultery is a type of cheating. That's the only type of cheating I'm interested in, the adultery type, not the other ones.
adultery, I'm at the adultery part. I'm not going to talk about anything else. Adultery, we are saying that adultery is a type, cheating is a type of adultery, right?
The other way around.
Adultery is a okay. So are we not now saying, if you're saying that adultery is cheating, then all the others, how are they not adultery because it is cheating? From what I got, adultery is cheating, or and now all those things, it is cheating. You are not telling your partner about them.
Are you asking me seriously? So, you're married and you're both athletes, super fit, muscles, slim, trim, looking good. We don't know how it happens, but the husband gradually gets bigger and bigger. And I don't mean muscles. His belly just grows. And 10 years on, he looks obese. And no one knows what happened. He just ate a lot secretly. Would you, using your common sense, say that he committed adultery?
No.
So what you're saying is, not all types of cheating are adultery. Yeah? Okay. Next person. Who was? Curtis?
You didn't want to go down this rabbit hole. But I wanted to ask about the concept of cheating. In the example you gave, one person, the man, doesn't like the woman eating chicken. And she goes and does it. Who's cheated there?
I'm sure the man will feel cheated out of his $5. I'll just leave it at that. And you'd view it.
No, she uses her money. But it's the idea of him not knowing that she's eating chicken. Forget the money bit. So another example is he doesn't like it when she watches romantic movies. So she does it behind his back. And her heart starts pumping during these romantic movies. Who's done the cheating there?
He thinks she has because she didn't tell him what she's doing. So if we stick to our... It's going to depend on people's views of how relationships operate, of course. And if people keep secrets from one another, the person who's not keeping the secret will think the other one's cheated. We just use cheated to say wrong.
So, yeah, you're wrong. My question is, who's in the wrong there? Because he's told her what she can and can't do.
Yeah. But he hasn't cheated. And the problem is the way you want to take this relationship, cheating becomes an inappropriate word. So we can either say that the word adultery or cheating is inappropriate to all these examples, or the simple way that I suggested is that they don't meet the criteria of adultery. Because we certainly should all understand that we'll call them marriages, relationships, shouldn't operate this way of control. Because as soon as you start, as soon as you drift away from the word cheat to wrong, the person who's doing the wrong isn't the meat eater or the masturbator, it's the partner who's controlling them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Uh,
So the masturbator in that relationship is not in the wrong.
Yep. Oh. Monica?
There are couples that are in the state where one prefers to masturbate over being sexually connected with their partner.
Can I just stop you for a second? It says masturbation in the context of adultery.
Is it still not considered cheating?
Just tell us your position. If you masturbate, are you cheating on your partner?
I'm saying when it's in the state where the person should I repeat? It's in the state that the person prefers to be with themselves and not with their partner.
You consider that cheating? That was my question to you. You don't know. Is that right? You don't know?
It's not adultery like with another person.
Is it adultery?
Adultery.
Okay, so you agree with me that it's not adultery. Where are we holding bated breath? You're not going to answer?
No, I don't know.
So it might be adultery. If you don't know.
I think it's a serious break in a relationship.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking, is it adultery? Is it a serious break in a relationship to stop someone eating chicken? I'll answer the question, yes. But it's not adultery. So whether or not masturbation is a serious break or not, the question is it adultery?
No.
So you agree with me? Can I just say yes? We've run out of time. I'm sorry, I know there are questions. I didn't want to gravitate to this subject. It's not pertinent to the subject that I want to talk about. And the only reason I let my friend ask that question is because I wanted to make it clear that whatever masturbation is, whether it's good or bad, it's not adultery. And nor are all the other things. Secretly giving your brother money when your wife's told you not to do that is really bad, but it's not adultery. And I like the definition that Catherine gave here. It's adultery has to have this component of a lover. Of another person. So there's this love triangle. Unless someone develops a model that adultery is something else. So I'm going to go with that definition until someone shows me that it's wrong. You're in a relationship with somebody and you gravitate to someone else. And so far we've got you gravitate in your thoughts or physically. Let's pray. Holy God, we thank you that we have the opportunity, the privilege, and more than that, the right to talk about such personal and important topics. We thank you that you're willing to talk about these with us. And I want to thank you for the culture that is within your church, where we're now free to speak about things that in the past we weren't able to do. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.